Welcome once again, my sisters and my brothers. Welcome to the Law of One, conscious channeling of LL Research. Today we have a great discussion. It has to do with our sun body, the earth, and our transition. Stick around, I believe you'll enjoy this conversation. The question tonight: I saw an interesting DVD called The Solar Empire. This splendid film discussed sunspots and solar flares. As I recall, these solar phenomena may influence all the planets in the solar system on a physical level. May we ask QO if there is a metaphysical meaning regarding the various phenomena of our sun, like solar flares and sunspots? We are those known to you as QO. Greetings in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. It is a great privilege to be called to your circle of seeking this evening, and as always, we are dumbfounded by the beauty of your blended auras, as well as by your intention to have created this sacred space together. We thank you for your query and will respond as best we can within the limits of free will. But as always, we would ask that each of you listens with discrimination so that you may use those thoughts which may be helpful to you and to leave the rest behind. The sun body is a sublogos, a manifester and center of light and love which it pours out upon all indiscriminately, generously, and with great love. As you are perhaps aware, the actions of each of you do not go unnoticed in the universe. The creation of the Creator is one, and the universe balances itself endlessly with regard to each and every one of its infinite bits and pieces of creatorhood, which are making the long, circular journey from Alpha to Omega and entering into Alpha once again. The situation of your people upon Gaia, or the entity you call planet Earth, is one which has been maturing and ripening throughout your last several thousands of years, as cycle after cycle of empire has risen and been brought to dust, only to spawn another empire with aggressive and hostile feelings and emotions, buttressing the point of view that conquers and controls. These cycles of empire have not lessened as this last major cycle has progressed, but rather there has been a stoppage of the willingness of those upon your sphere to entertain what this instrument would call a new paradigm. We do not speak here of all of those upon your planet, but rather we speak in terms of those whose hands have been greedy for power. Due to the natural tendency of those upon a certain path to incarnate in bunches, shall we say, you have before you now a large group of entities who have worked together, always fighting for position, but bearing enough amity towards each other to conspire to control the population of your planet and to bend all things to their will. They have done this before. These entities have been faces at the banquet in Babylon, in Rome, in the Holy Roman Empire, in the Third Reich, and now. There are other cycles of service to self entities in other cultures, And those who rode with Genghis Khan ride now within your eastern countries such as China, Korea, Japan, India, and Pakistan, Israel, and Syria. The list can go on. This phenomenon, where entities who love power and who love control are seeking, whether consciously or unconsciously, to graduate in the service to self polarity, are in charge, has mandated a acceleration of heat of a metaphysical type, and this heat winds itself down into the earth, not so much in the physical earth, but in the energy body of the earth, shall we say, causing the earth to seek ever more diligently to balance herself. This has its effect not only upon the planet, but also upon the sun, which streams its light to bless the planet. You may see these increased and severe solar flares and other sun phenomena as the sun's innocent and necessary balancing of its energy field, in order that the highest and best possible outcome may be preserved for each and every entity upon planet Earth. It is not an angry sun that is smiting those who have done wrongly. It is simply a living being which, in order to be in balance, must express the products of imbalance so that balance may be regained. There is no question, my friends, but that you personally, all by yourself, can make a difference in this situation, insofar as you have the ability to cease the war within you. More light is allowed into your environment, and planet Earth feels that lightening of consciousness and is deeply grateful. She is, in fact, most grateful each day as your group offers the Gaia meditation and hopes for peace on Earth and peace in the hearts of humankind. Therefore, we would say that there is not a metaphysical message per se in the increased solar flares, any more than there is a message in the increased incidence of extreme weather which you are experiencing at this time. It is a benign and necessary means of adjusting and balancing the energy body of the planet and the energy body of the solar system. Imagine what would happen within your own vehicle if one of your organs were amiss. Say perhaps that your lungs were heavily damaged and you were having difficulty breathing. This would impact your ability to think, your heart function, and many other functions of the body which depend upon the steady intake of oxygen. Thusly, these are symptoms of a metaphysical illness, which we might describe as a fever, which has overtaken humankind. We would simply ask each of you to do what you can to reduce the fever of your own life, your own thoughts, and your own heart, and to turn always with utter faith and confidence to the holy sanctuary within your heart, where the Creator is to be found in good weather or poor, metaphysically speaking or physically speaking. We are those of QO and would ask the one known as G if he sees a follow-up to that query. No follow-up, QO. T asks, what is the metaphysical difference between a solar system that orbits a single star and a solar system that orbits binary stars. Is there a possibility that this solar system we currently occupy will one day have a binary star? We are those of QO and are aware of your query, my brother. There is, as far as we know, no metaphysical difference between a single sun solar system and a double sun solar system. The cause of binary solar systems is to be found in the laws of attraction, where two solar systems have been manifested and have blossomed in such a way that their energy begins to work together. And in order to balance the power of the two suns, there is formed a relationship betwixt them so that there is a somewhat more complex system of influences, shall we say, of the kind that you are used to thinking of as astrological. Its nature has nothing to do with its relationship with the sub-sublogi, humans, that may enjoy incarnation between its rays of sunshine. There are times when the womb of a woman shall bring forth twins. There is no deeper meaning to that than to the fact of ineluctable and inevitable consequences being caused by the conception being duple. May we answer you further, my brother? We are those of QO. I have no follow-up on the previous question. My friend is very devoted to the study of your words, QO, and will be very happy to receive your responses. I will move on to the next question. C writes in and asks, while I read the QO material, I often feel very touched in my heart. During one meditation, I heard those of QO talk to me and say, "We are your distant future." I really want to know if those of QO are connected with me in a deeper way. We are those of QO and are aware of your query. The query has elements that would infringe upon the law of confusion, and so we shall content ourselves with observing that, in many cases, those entities who are drawn to the energies and the vibrations that underlie and surround the words that we offer through this instrument are what this instrument would call wanderers. For a wanderer, the earth is indeed the home, the native land. It is well to adopt it and embrace it fully. Yet those who come from elsewhere, especially those who have incarnated in the latest wave of wanderers, which we would call the indigo children, even the adults, there is a distinct overlay of nearly hidden but discernible memory of a different time, a different place, and different conditions, where hearts were indeed undefended and where compassion held sway. Each wanderer has relinquished any claim upon that long ago and distant home that was elsewhere, in order that it may fully commit with zeal, honesty, and integrity to the mission of lightening the consciousness of planet Earth, one thought at a time, not changing others, but simply working to change the self. However, there are always friends from home who may stop by to say hello, and it can safely be said that many of those who listen to the words of the Ra group, the Hatan group, and the Latwi group, that altogether make up the QO group, we find friends and relations among those that speak.